Hello and welcome to Crew 42's coverage of the St. Louis Open presented by Crane Agency, also sponsored by MVP Disc Sports. We're here in St. Louis, Missouri for the MPO Feature Card back 9 of round 1. My name is Zachary O'Haron, and joining me on the commentator's mic, we've got Sam Smigiel. How you doing?
Hey, great, Zach.
If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell whenever we post new content to the channel so you will not miss out. We're at this beautiful Logan University course, and our players have finished 9 holes so far. Zach, Max, and John all tight together, 2 down and 3 down, while Levi has been clean on the front 9 and is setting the pace at 6 down so far. But they're going to have a bit of a tester here with hole 10, par 3, 440. Doesn't sound too dangerous. You're going to see a lot of forehands here going out either through flexing through where the drone is right now or left, and you have OB water on the left. The grass is sitting on a very kind of treacherous green here with lots of rollaway potential and an OB pond above the basket as well if you were somehow to miss high.
Yeah, do we have OB right of the basket too?
Oh, yeah.
See that road OB?
Oh, yeah. All of this is lots of OB.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of people taking really what you saw right there is a kind of a safe bid at it. 440 feet on a forehand, a little downhill, maybe 400 feet of power.
Mm-hmm.
That's stretching a lot of forehands.
I think this is a tough hole and a course. First of all, I really love what they did with the course for this tournament. I really think it's an amazing course to come out and visit if you ever have a weekend and you want to compete in an A tier. This is a great one to go to. But
Zach's taking a very technical line with the backhand.
I think that was a good tree. I think that was leaking left.
Yeah, that was stable.
But this hole's kind of interesting. It feels like if it was on tour, it's not necessarily the most impossible hole. A lot of those top tier pros can get there. But in an A tier, a lot of those people aren't here, and so the hole plays much more difficult. And so you sometimes get varying opinions because I don't think the hole's bad at all. But I definitely heard this weekend from some pros. It's like, man, you really should change the basket because no one can get this one. It's like, well, people can get it. It's just like there's a skill gap here. It feels like that kind of separates this hole from most people.
Well, in Levi, he had, the best shot here on the card, and he got a little bit of cabbage.
Mm-hmm.
Still got himself inside circle too, so it's definitely reachable.
Yeah.
But it's a very technical shot. It's scary with that OB on the left. You're not wanting to turn it over. I don't know if there was any headwind today, but that would really make this an intimidating shot. I'm
glad you mentioned the weather. It wasn't super windy, but it was 96 and humid as all get up. It was icky. It's the best word I have for that, just so everyone knows.
Coming in a little hot with the forehand.
This is a great hole on, if this was a hole 18 of a playoff, right? And so someone has to go for it. This hole becomes really dynamic all of a sudden if you kind of have to chase someone down with it. Round 1, I don't think too many people are feeling like foot on the gas pedal, got to go for it yet.
Yeah, and you have a tricky green here. Again, you've got, if you're high side of the basket, you've got a bit of a death putt with the water there.
Oh, no.
Leaves it a little low.
Yeah, we're going to get some big scores here, and as you're probably thinking in your head right now, Sam, it is the hardest hole on the course, averaging 3.64, having a totality of 0 birdies in round 1.
0 birdies.
0. I don't know how.
That does surprise me. I mean, I wasn't there to know, but 440 feet forehand, it's a big shot. So.
Yeah. Hole 11, 540 feet. I think this is one of the most beautiful holes on the course. It's very scenic with the water. You got probably a 250, maybe more water carry over this. There's OB on the left side. Right side, there's no OB line, but it is rolling downhill. Then you have another basket on a pretty slanted green here. So your approach shot needs to be pretty technical. The grass is a little longer, though, so it tends to grab a little easier.
John taking a safer shot, making sure he clears the out of bounds, fades. He still put that pretty close, but now he's got some flat footing.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to do it that close.
No, I can see the forehand fading away from the out of bounds. But I think if you throw it a little high, this isn't going to go down the hill, I don't think. But if you get on top of that hill, I could see some rolling down the hill off to the right and giving you a challenging shot, too.
Yeah, especially if you accidentally somehow penetrate into the woods. It's just going to make it technical. Good catch. That could have been worse.
See if he can get that out of his head and get a clean shot there.
It's going to leak a little right here.
You can see his footwork was still a little goofy on that. I don't know if it was slippery tee pad or if it was a bit in his head, but still on the edge of the woods. I think he might still have a swing, get himself look at the basket.
Anything along the edge of that woods where he was is usually okay. You can still see the basket. Tricky position potentially.
I like this play by Max here. Unfortunate roll. As I say, I like that play, and he has the worst lie. You're thinking that's going to be a little safer, but just catches the edge of the hill. And
Yep. It almost feels reachable. It just isn't. Like, it feels like you had, 500 power thrower. It's like, okay, I can go for it. But anything left, and you're just taking it so far back, and it's a guaranteed 4 at best. It's like...
You have to throw such a good shot.
Yeah, it'd have to be the best shot of your life. I mean, to kind of stick the green to keep it close. Sit down. Okay.
I was thinking good shot, but last time I said that, it really hurt Max. So, Zach, I waited on that one for you.
Okay, we got John now with his approach.
Sit down.
And there's the hill.
Yeah, these tricky greens.
That's going to be way down there.
He's nowhere near the basket.
Yeah.
He's throwing another upshot.
And you can't even run it. There's water, on the other side of that little mound, so you got to lay up. Levi was actually not too far in, able to get a pretty clean approach shot. Gets it nice and close to the basket.
Looks like he almost gave that a little bit of a run.
Yeah, he did. Maybe a little lower on the hill than I thought. Very nice.
See, you did have a good shot.
Couple birdies here, very nicely played by our two gentlemen here. I think I really like the forehand into the flat play. I think that's just if you don't have the forehand, I guess I could understand just ripping something deep and trying to get to where Levi was at the bottom of the hill, just along the edge. But I think that flat shot really opens up really nicely for safer approach shot, just secure footing. Hole 12, though, par 4, 623 feet. This should be the easiest hole in the course, in my opinion. No OB other than the road, which is way out of position. There's woods on the right, but it shouldn't come close. You have a huge fairway to hit. Then from there, you got to get past this kind of wall of guardian trees a little bit. You can go big forehand around the left side. You can kind of, if you get far enough forward, you can just throw a little pitch backhand on the right side. So really should play easy. Free open shot here. However you want to rip it.
Yeah, on the flyover, it looks like the left side was a little more accessible to throw the forehand over the road.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you're not getting close enough, that low ceiling taking the right side looks like it might be a little bit more challenging. But this hole's short enough where I think all these guys should be giving themselves a look for birdie. Yeah,
I think Zach didn't get quite a good rip on his, so his a little shorter. You can see that second drive just way past the cameraman there. That's a great drive from that position. The only thing on the left side that worries me are the power lines.
Oh.
So as we see Max coming here on the left, I think that left side looks way better too. I like that side, but if you leak it too far left, you can catch yourself real quick in some trouble, especially with an OB creek kind of just sitting in front of the basket.
Well, and when you have those power lines, if you're throwing the hyzer at them, you almost never hit them, but they're there.
But sometimes you see someone hit them. Zach's going to go for that forehand. I think it's far enough away where the correct shot isn't a problem, but they, like you said, they're just there. That'll be a putt.
Through, give himself putt.
Yeah. Maybe not the roll he wanted, but he'll take it. Ooh. Okay, not in the water.
Yeah, you've got that OB. Well, he's still going to have himself actually a putt at birdie.
Here's what I was talking about, that right side. Just, you only have that one tree you really got to avoid. As long as you miss it, you'll get into circle pretty much consistently.
Yeah, just got to stay under that low ceiling. See, this low forehand, yeah, you can see some branches hanging over that water. I mean, even that's can get a little dicey.
I think John had an opportunity to go through the trees, and I don't think he was interested in finding the OB through an accidental just misfire on that. Just going to pitch up and take a par.
Yeah, Max just leaves his putt short. Zach sneaks it in, gets himself 2 birdies in a row.
Yeah, he's been a little slow on the beginning of his round, but he's kind of pulled it together. He's 4 down right now, 3 back of Levi, who's really had a solid round other than hole 10. Hole 13, another what I think is an easier par 4 for our field, 455 feet. It's not the distance that makes this a problem, it's the position. Your first drive here needs to go past. You see that person in the fairway on the left. You want to land right towards the OB painted creek there. Then it's up and over around this tree canopy. You got a little bit of ceiling to work with into this green. Give yourself a putt, hopefully for a birdie look.
It looks like another one that's almost the opposite of the par 5, where you being a little bit left, it doesn't look like a bad thing on this hole. You can see Zach going roller, trying to, and the roller is a great play if you have a good roller, because that's going to get you right to that mouth. But I can see being left.
Is it punishing?
No.
Yeah.
Where you could have some people trying to throw a forehand and you get that leaks a little early, and then you're going to be a little bit pinched off.
It's a pretty good pump to that corner too, so it's 450, but it's a good chunk of distance to get to the edge there. So these guys are going to get in a free rip.
Yeah, it looks like all these guys are in position where they're going to have a look at the basket.
One more coming up from John. He's got a forehand.
Great shot.
Yep. Just get in the fairway. Don't go do anything silly. If you're a little short, it does make going around that tree that the drone went around a little tougher, but...
Catches a little branch, but he's putting for a birdie.
Here's Max. Ooh.
Gives it a little run.
Basket hunting. A little uphill there. Lets you kind of be aggressive without having too much to worry about.
Zach real close to the basket off of his drive.
He's really cleaned up.
Spot.
Yeah, he's really cleaned up his game here. He's been executing really well in this back 9 so far.
Yeah, he's going to have 3 in a row.
This is a great position.
Levi, another good shot. After 1 bogey, he's going to have 3 in a row himself.
I think looking at the scores from last year, I'm pretty sure 9 down was the kind of hot round for the tournament. So he's setting himself up for a really good pace today. John can't seem to get off the par train, though.
No, he just hasn't been feeling it on this back 9. Hopefully he can get himself a birdie and get himself going. Some birdies for the rest of our card.
One more par for John there, and that's going to move us over towards hole 14. Great chance to get a birdie here. Another short hole, 229 uphill. The basket is located underneath these pine trees. You'll see a lot of people play the forehand skip or try to like nuzzle it up towards the basket, maybe even give it a little run. You don't want to go right into the woods.
Just whatever you can do to avoid these trees, and you'll be putting like that.
Mm-hmm. Might be 4 in a row for Zach.
Yeah, he just decides, I'm just going to go right through the trees.
Love this line. He just wants it to sit down.
Yeah, that hill plays as a nice backstop. So even coming in a little hot, it's probably pretty tough to go long in this basket.
Backhand from Max here. Ooh, just a little right, but is not going to be in the woods. He'll have a putt.
John, a little bit of a grip lock, doesn't get a skip.
You can see his frustration. He's just not. He knows these are holes he can score on. He just can't get it to get where he wants it to go. Gives it a bid, but it's going to be a little long. He'll have that left for his 3. Look, here's Max now.
Just a little high.
He wants that one back.
I'd love to see John make this putt here. It's not a long putt, but he's had a tough couple holes, and even sometimes those 15, 20 footers that should be tap-ins, but sometimes don't feel like it, can help build some confidence, and maybe you can string together a few birdies here.
Yeah, it might make him feel like something's going right.
Yeah.
Something is buildable. Hole 15 is going to be a tough one to do that with. 297. It's the most Michigan hole they have here. It's poke and pray. Basket is tucked up high and right. You see where the drone is flying is the...
I still don't see it.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's where the drone just flew. That's the line.
Okay.
All right.
Low screaming forehand.
Yeah.
With something fast and overstable, and hope you get through. Like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
base of the hill.
I have to think he's feeling good about
Yeah, that's a great drive for this hole. So many of them get kicked into oblivion. This one's a great drive.
Look at this initial gap. I mean, you've got that. You don't want to grip lock it, but you have to put a little bit of turn on it to miss that tree in the middle. And this is a tough shot.
Yeah, this is danger going high. You see Levi gets kicked back a couple times now. He's at the bottom of the hill as well. Forehand from Max.
Man, that one branch in the middle, but a perfect shot still. Wow.
That's spectacular.
That hit the line perfectly.
John's looking at that saying, okay, let's see if I can repeat that line.
Just follow the vapor trail. And does he get rejected? Come on, get through. Yes.
He found it. Hit the same tree, too.
Same branch. I was worried. I couldn't tell if it dropped.
That first leaf, right, looked like a disc.
I think it was a disc dropping, but it dropped slow.
Pitch up here for Levi. He's going to be by the basket for his 3. Zach.
Long putt for Zach.
Yeah, it's a birdie putt, though.
5 in a row.
Off the basket. 15 playing a little bit on the harder side, just a little over par, averaging 3.17.
And a couple good birdies from John and Levi.
The Pixel makes putting so effortless, which is exactly what I wanted from this disc, that I can just put it on the line and then just let the disc slow float to the chains. For me, always, the more a putter beats in, the more magic it has inside, so hit those chains.
Hole 16 now, par 3, 381 feet. I really like this hole, actually. There's OB water on the left side, but the drone's going this low gap. No one's going to throw that. You're actually going to go high on mostly Anheuser, trying to get past this dead tree on the left side and try to push it into this gap here. It's a bit of a pump, though. It's pretty flat ground, relatively. You kind of got to go up and over hill, so it's blind.
Yeah, is there a forehand line there, or are those trees on the left just a little bit too close to the basket?
I would say it depends on whose forehand you're throwing. Because I think that if you're going kind of higher aggressive, it's not there. But You should just do what Max just did because that's the shot. Let's take another look at that one. That's our Disc Golf Threads replay of the round. Look good, feel good, play good at your next event. Check out discgolfthreads.com. See if you can get a Crew 42 shirt. Max leaving this, like I mentioned, big Anheuser, slow drift to the disc. He's going to beat the tree on the way in, and he's going to get that perfect fade into the circle, turning the cameraman here.
Yeah, who needs a forehand when you can just throw this long turnover, hit the gap perfectly, land right in front of the basket, and give yourself a birdie putt?
So my recommendation is don't throw the forehand. How about that?
No.
Okay.
I'd like to do that.
Okay.
John's going to give it a try here.
We've actually seen this from John a few times. Not go for the green, actually play for position. I think that's smart from him, just knowing your game, understanding that if he gets super aggressive, his likelihood of taking not a 3 is going to go up.
Yeah. If you don't have the distance, I can see this hole. I can see a lot of pars happening on this hole.
We see Zach threw a good shot into the woods. We'll see if he can scramble, though. It's going to be a tough spot. This looks right.
Turning right. It's got to stable up. It's trying. It's trying.
Oh, it got out of a lot of it. There's a walking path back there. Yeah, I don't hate this play. I mean, this is someone like me who has a lot less power than you.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what John did. I'm going to get into a perfect position. I'm going to pitch into here and take a birdie 90% of the time. And I'm never going to go for it because the 2 times I go for it, it's going to go horribly.
Yeah, it's a smart play. Know your game and don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Just play your game and score the best that you can score.
Heck
What
yeah.
a putt by Levi.
Little obstructed. No big deal for him. He actually gets the birdie. Spectacular for him.
Max in a great position off the tee. High. It's 2 high putts in a row.
Yeah.
He's going to be kicking himself for that one.
Yep. A little bit of a hiccup. Gets the par. Zach's going to tap in his as well. There was exactly 1 birdie on the hole for the day.
Oh, just like
Levi's.
that, and we got to see it.
Yeah. It's going to move us on to hole 17. Not too much of a hole, but this is way uphill. 276. I actually don't think the forehand's great here. Some pros disagree with it. I think it shapes up better for a backhand that kind of flexes out a little bit as it kind of crests this hill. Elevated basket at the top there makes it a little trickier. Can't get too close.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty tough gap, and you can see there if you're throwing the backhand and if you're throwing the forehand, you're really having to challenge that ceiling because it's far enough right that you just can't throw that low forehand, and you could probably skip to maybe circle 2.
Yeah, from what I saw.
Something.
And here, this is the mistake. Well, I don't know if it's really a mistake. This is the problem with the backhand. You can see all of our competitors are going up. They're trying to go high and up and over stuff, and it just gets worse foliage-wise up there. And where the drone was, where it was low, is kind of the gap you have to go for. Zach gets through a lot of it, but it doesn't get far enough right. He's going to be behind a wall of trees there to kind of see the basket.
And you could see everyone, when they threw the backhand, they hit the foliage, and it just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
It didn't really kick left. It didn't keep going towards the basket. It just stopped. And I think where the forehand would be nice if you're throwing a driver is you might be able to cut through those trees a little bit. So if you're practicing this hole and you're just not getting up there for birdie, I could see forehand being a good play to be, get myself to 60 feet, maybe have a look at a birdie, but I know for sure I'm going to par it.
Yeah. I met Zach actually the evening before. He was actually on hole 17 when I met him the first time, and he was saying that the forehand, he kept trying it over and over again, didn't quite get it to the landing zone he wanted to, and he thought that the backhand was his only way of getting there. So it's there. I mean, he was going for it. He knows it's there, but it's just a tough gap to hit. John's just laying up. It's going to be at the edge of the mound there. I think this is Zach pitching up and over. Yeah. Good sit.
Yeah, everyone's just kind of getting themselves right near the basket for par. Oh. Leaves his putt a little short.
Second mistake of the round there.
Yeah, tough hole. How many birdies do we have on this one?
Let's take a look here. Hole 17 had 4 birdies on the hole. So not too many out of field of 77.
Yeah, good birdies.
Hole 18 is going to wrap up our round here. 602 feet, par 4. Kind of a low ceiling off the rip here. You just want to get over the hill here. It gets flat ground from there, and then you have a couple options. I think a little right is fine. It kind of opens up this gap that goes up and over the parking lot on the right side. If you do happen to land left or like have a roller on that side, you can kind of carry that direction maybe with a forehand. But you just need as much distance as you can off the first shot. Makes the second one a little easier. You do have some OB behind it with a road there, but shouldn't come into play unless you really juice something.
Yeah, I was looking at roller off the tee, but then you see that road just kind of tapers in, just keeps going to the left, and that makes it for a tough roller play.
Zach's lining up a backhand. Nope, Zach's lining up a roller.
This is looking like a great shot.
Yeah, that's good distance, good position. He's going to like that.
Yeah, get the ceiling out of play. If you know you have something that's going to get down and not go too far right, that's a great play.
Wow, Levi. What a freaking shot, buddy.
Or you can just throw it there.
Getting a bunch of distance.
He's got some good power. Gets a good line there, and he's way up there. He'll actually have the option to maybe throw a hyzer through kind of those wall of trees on the right side towards the parking lot, or he'll throw forehand from there. I think he's far enough up where he'll probably throw forehand.
Low looks like it kept going. Stay in bounds. Oh, go.
Push, 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 push.
Not
Going
gonna
to
get
be
in bounds.
close. Yeah, looks like he is. Yep, out of bounds. Close. Almost had enough juice there on the side, on the parking lot.
And he's going to have a little work to do to get up and down from there.
I don't think he had a. I don't think he'd give that any more of a better angle either. I mean, he was real close to that hill.
Yeah.
John's going to get kicked early left. He's going to have to scramble for his 4.
This is where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Looks a little right.
Yeah, this is I don't remember exactly. It's an overstable mid though, but he kind of just pulls it off to the right and didn't have enough time to work his way left. Uh-oh.
Get up.
Push, push, push. Yeah, it's in circle.
A little bit of a lucky skip there. Happy to get himself a chance at birdie.
Yeah, that disc is very grippy, by the way. It's beat to heck and does not normally skip. The card was kind of joking about that. Like, I've never seen that disc skip a day in its life.
Every once in a while, you get one.
Mm-hmm. John gets his disc up there in circle. Max taking it from the back of the parking lot there.
Okay, he wasn't too bad from there.
Zach from way downtown.
Long bid for birdie. He's going to finish out with the par.
Great back 9 for him, though. Big turnaround from his.
Yeah, the 4 birdies in a row. Yeah, that feels really good.
And he had some looks there. He could have even had a little, a few more strokes there if he could get him back. Just like that last approach shot could have resulted in a birdie, but overall, still a very solid round from him at being 6 down. Levi's going to have to settle for 9 down. Max at 2 and John at 4. So that's going to wrap up our round 1. We're going to take a look at our card here. As I mentioned, Zach and Levi both leading the card here at 9 down and 6 down. John and Max not able to keep up pace here. Max with the bogeys at the end. John just really couldn't get the birdies going in the birdie alley there. Taking a look at our top 10 standings, we have a hot round of 12 down from Adrian there. Levi in second place at 9. Aiden Scott at 8 down, and Zach's going to join us again with the lead card as well with 6 down. So we got a clean front 9 or clean lead card here going into round 2. If you haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing. Check out our Patreon. Without that support, we would not be able to continue doing what we do. Thanks, Sam, for joining me.
All right, we'll see you guys for round 2.